Taking my dog for a walk this morning. It's about 4:30 in the morning at our local park, and I know you could see it almost looks like dust, but that's fog, and I got a light on because without the light we can't see squat. You know, it's a good reminder to step out of your comfort zone and just live, you know? Sometimes you gotta face your fears and just be in the moment, even when it's scary. You know? Because how much life are you living when you choose to face your fears? How much more life do you live? And life is good, baby. You know? Life is good when you step out, face your fears, just own up to them, and just realize that life is waiting for you to respond. You know? Life is waiting for you to respond. But you gotta make the call. You know? You know, you could choose to always live in fear of all the, man, you know, what might happen, this could happen. Or you can make it happen, you know? And just breathe. Just breathe through the moment. And know that everything's going to be fine. And that's what we're doing. That's how we're living. Just me and my dog. Getting our miles in this morning. Yeah, it's beautiful out here too. That's another thing. It's like, have you ever thought about how pretty it actually is out here? Yeah, it's dark, it's foggy. But, dude, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. When it's just you, your dog, the stars above, and the trail. That's a beautiful thing. You know, we spend a lot of energy on things that scare us. Too much, you know. We spend a lot of energy overthinking, worrying. The majority of the time, that fear that you're scared of doesn't even come true. Majority of the time. Majority of the time, you know, it ends up just being a beautiful day. So, you know, life is what you make it. If you make it something that you should fear and worry, you know, I think your life is going to revolve around that. You're going to make decisions based on that reality that you've shaped your mind around. But if you choose to make your life beautiful and one that's filled with adventure, you know, your life's going to shape around that as well. So it's all about how you look at things. It's all about how you see. You know, and I understand, you know, there's moments where fears are legit. And you know, there's moments where your mind is only reacting to the environment that you place it in. But you gotta look for the light. And if you can't find the light, be the light. If you can't find the light, just be the light. Be the light that the darkness needs. And you'll stand out. You'll stand out for you. Yeah, baby. I know it's hard sometimes. Especially when, you know, the world around us is overall a dark place. It tends to push its fears on people. You know, if it's not one thing, it's another that we should constantly have to worry about. You know, but I also am a believer in the fact that I think there's more love and light in the world than there is darkness and hate. There's more things to be excited about than to fear. You know, and maybe you call me naive for thinking that. Whatever. Maybe that's just my personal belief. And you don't have to believe that. But it is what I choose to believe. And I think because I choose to believe that, oftentimes I could see the light and love a little bit better when I'm just out living. Yeah, baby. It's a beautiful thing. It is pretty wild, though. You know, you're on a dark trail. It's foggy. It's not too foggy over here, but it definitely was in the beginning because there's the river's right there. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm the only person here, but I don't know that for sure. And, you know, even if I'm not, and there is somebody else here, I could choose to bring those qualities of light and love to those people if we cross paths. And that's what's cool about life. You know? And I think even if you are scared to approach people, or scared to approach your situation, I think as long as you're bringing qualities of light and love, you'll be fine. It'll all work out. It'll all work out. You know, when I was younger, this never would have been something that I would have done. Never would have came to a park by myself on my own. Well, I do have my dog here, but never would have done this. 4:30 in the morning. Foggy. I wouldn't have gotten out of the car. My mind used to play tricks on me. You know? And I wonder, you know, of course it comes from like listening to the world and, you know, being obsessed with like Halloween and like ghost stories. But again, if you let that shape your life, you know, that's what your life's going to become. And, you know, do I love a good ghost story? Yeah. Do I love a good ghost hunt? Of course. It's a blast. But I'm not going to let it shape my life and stop me from living. There's just no point. Just no point. I do think life is too short, man. Life's too short to just be running around scared all the damn time. Life's too short to just stop because your fears want you to stop. You know, I just don't think it's worth it. Especially when you've been wanting to do something. You said you were going to do it. And in my case, you know, I drove all the way here, got up out of bed. Of course, I wanted to sleep. But it's just creating these memories that, you know, I don't know if my dog will remember it. I'm sure he will in his own way. I know he's appreciative of it because he's getting a workout in. I'm getting a workout in. And, you know, It's a memory that we wouldn't have had I not got, drove over here and got out of the car and just started walking. So it's a beautiful thing. I keep saying that, but it's the truth. And actually, we came last week, and it was pretty cool. A possum actually was like following us on the track, or on the trail. And that was pretty neat. He was harmless. He was actually like following along with Benny in the grass. Just kind of cool. Pretty cool. This park in particular is one that, I used to play baseball here. You can't see it past the darkness there, but there's baseball diamonds over there. We used to come here when we were in high school. Never this late, or this early, I should say. But we used to come here in high school and, walk our dogs, hang out. Up here a ways, past that light, of course, there's the river right there. So we always go down there and kind of hang out by the water, watch the waves. That was always cool. And then in high school, I met my wife now, and we actually this was our first date. Was this park here? Well, we got Wendy's, then came here. Of course, a few years passed, and then I actually proposed to her here, down by the river. And man, that was 2018, I think. No, 2017, sorry. 2017. But it's just wild, man. Wild to think that, it was 9 years ago. And here we are. Here we are, babe. Still living. Still coming to places that mean a lot to us. Still telling the stories that we remember. I think that's what life is all about, man. Living and just telling your story. You live to tell your story. Because whether you know it or not, your story is what helps other people. It helps other people's story. It inspires them. It ignites them. And, when you stop telling your story, I think you stop living. You gotta tell your story, man. You gotta also be able to live, what story am I telling myself if I'm not facing my fears? I'm not telling one that's very positive or impactful. But when I own up, stand up, and face my fears, that's a story I could tell anybody. And it's not a it's not a brag of like, look at me, look at all the cool things I've done in my life. I mean, maybe it is a little bit, but it is a way for you to maybe help somebody else. Maybe you got to help somebody. And maybe telling your story is the best way that you can do that. Maybe telling your story maybe that's the way that you could help somebody work through their story and their own fears and doubts. I don't know if you can hear it, but over there's the river. You definitely can't see it, it's too dark, but that's where I asked my wife to marry me. Well, actually, I was kind of down that way a little bit, but you get the point. It's crazy because I remember being so nervous that day. I had a whole day planned, and we had a date day. We both took off work. Just had a whole day planned with her, and actually had a buddy like hide in the woods. He knew when we were gonna get here, and he helped me kind of set it up a little bit. And then had a nice camera. He liked to do photography. So, yeah, man, took Maddie down the little trail there that we had set up. And then it ultimately led to kind of the beach area where the river meets the rocks. And then, just did it. And it was awesome, man. We had her little dog with us at the time. Another Sheltie. We love our Shelties. But, yeah, man. It's just really cool to remember that and tell that story. I'm excited to tell that story to my daughter as she gets a little older. But yeah, man, there's moments in our life like that they'll never fade. They'll never go away. As many years pass us by, and as much time that goes by, you'll never forget the feelings that you had in those deep, rich memories of your mind. And now it's just special. It's just special. Here's what it looks like without the light. Now, it's actually gotten a little lighter out since we got here. Yeah, man, without a flashlight, it'd be real dark. You know, it's a perfect, going back, man, that's a perfect example of life, you know? Sometimes you gotta work with the light that you do have. Maybe it's such a dark place that, you know, you struggle to see. You struggle to just move around. But you gotta look for the light. I follow the light, baby. I think that's what God intends for us to do anyway. Yeah, man. So, I'm gonna keep going. We got about 4 more laps in us. And, you know, tell your story. Live your life. Don't let your life stop you from living. Don't let your life get so dark that, you know, you can't be light and love. You know, it's worth it. But, yeah, man, you know, we'll leave it there. If I did the rest of the time, this would probably be a 2-hour podcast. I guess I could, but I don't want to keep rambling. So, thanks for walking with Ben and I. And, yeah, man. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Have a good weekend. I'm excited, man. We're actually going to the Brickyard 400. My wife and I just gonna go watch some NASCAR this weekend. But yeah, man. Face your fears. Be the light. Be the love. You know, don't let your fears stop you from living. So, much love. And yeah, man. You guys have a good day. Peace.